What's up, guys? Lance the Obscure Movie Guy coming to you. It is Sunday, April 25th, and I have got news, music. Got your three headlines for this past week from the entertainment world, and they are some good ones and some funny ones, if you will. But the first big one that we're going to drop is Michael Keaton is making his return as Batman in Ezra Miller's The Flash. This is going to be awesome. The last time Michael Keaton donned the cape and the cowl for Batman was back in 1992, where he starred alongside Michelle Pfeiffer, Danny DeVito, Christopher Walken, Cary Elwes in Batman Returns from the Tim Burton era. And the cool thing with The Flash is that the movie starring Ezra Miller is going to focus in on the Flashpoint story arc from the DC comic book series, which was briefly touched on in one season of The Flash on the CW Arrowverse. That's going to show what Batman has been up to for the last 30 years. And it's also going to be a part of the DCEU, as Ben Affleck is also set to return as his portrayal of Batman from an alternate universe. Not only is The Flash set to star Ezra Miller, Michael Keaton, and Ben Affleck, but it will also have Sasha Cale starring as Supergirl, Kiersey Clemons as Iris West, Maribel Verdú as Nora Allen, and Ron Livingston, Mr. Office Space himself, will be Henry Allen, Barry's father. The movie is set to take place... It is set to take place in the DCEU. It is going to be the 12th film of the DC Extended Universe, and it is slated to come out November 4th, 2022. So I'm super excited about that one. Michael Keaton is arguably the best Batman / Bruce Wayne. There's often been the debate of who's done it better. Was it Michael Keaton, and often compared to Christian Bale? And while the two franchises are vastly different from each other, for some reason Michael Keaton has always held a special place in my heart. And I don't know if it's just because I watched it when I was a kid. To me, Batman 1989 was really the... kind of the start of a turnaround in Hollywood and movies, that superhero movies could be cool and they can be blockbusters. And Tim Burton did a really good job with Batman and Batman Returns. Not as good with Batman Returns, but I think they tried to do a little too much with that one. But Michael Keaton, arguably the best Batman. I think a lot of people are excited about this. I know I am, so kind of interested to see what you guys think and feel about that. So the next headline I want to talk about, and this again is coming back from my childhood, but there is set to be a new Running Man movie to take place. Running Man, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger back in 1987. It was loosely based off of the Stephen King novel, but it deviated a lot from the source material. The new movie that is supposed to be written by Edgar Wright is going to focus in on a lot more of the actual not the graphic novel, but the actual Stephen King novel itself. So that should be a lot of fun as well. There's not a whole lot of information on that one yet. They just announced it, but doubt Arnold Schwarzenegger will be back for that one. And the last one I want to talk about, Vin Diesel has begun talks to star in a Mattel-based movie. Yes, Mattel, the toy company. Mattel-based movie called Rock'em Sock'em, and yes, it is going to be based on the Rock'em Sock'em robots. So Mattel Films is behind the project, and they're partnering up with Universal, the same studio that does the Fast and Furious films. And it is set to be written by Ryan Angle, who had also written Dwayne Johnson's Rampage. So kind of a... You can kind of see where that's going. Vin Diesel is supposed to star along somebody else who's going to be playing his son, where him and his son make a they make an unlikely bond with a robot, a fighting robot, if you will. And if a father-son fighting robot sounds familiar, well, it should, because it was the basis for Real Steel, starring Hugh Jackman. Real Steel came out in 2011 and starred Hugh Jackman in a dystopian 2020 future, which we almost got there last year, huh? But in 2020, there's a fighting robots as opposed to people actually boxing and beating themselves to death. The movie actually did fairly well in the box office. Not as good as they had liked, but it had a bit of a resurgence this past year as it was on Netflix, and there was short talks about doing Real Steel 2. Now, the movie's been compared to Rock'em Sock'em, as Sock'em sounds an awful lot like Real Steel. And again, father-son make an unlikely bond with a fighting robot. But not only that, but the father and son, they were kind of estranged from each other and found themselves coming together through this competition. So it was kind of a cool movie. But if that story arc and storyline sounds familiar, father and son coming together through a competition, well, it should, because it took its it basically took its storyline from 1987's Over the Top. Over the Top was a 1987 hit starring Sylvester Stallone as Lincoln Hawk, who tried to reconnect with his estranged son that he had given up parental rights to his grandfather, and they make an unlikely bond with each other through the competition of arm wrestling. And Sylvester Stallone arm wrestles his way all the way to the finals in Las Vegas, where, of course, he wins. So it just goes to show you Hollywood has been out of ideas for 30 years. So there you have it. Those are your 3 headlines for this week. Michael Keaton returning as Batman, a new Running Man coming out in some time in the future, and Rock'em Sock'em Robots with Vin Diesel. What? I like Vin, but man, that guy, he'll do just about anything. So, guys, like, subscribe, and comment to the YouTube channel. Check me out on Facebook. I hope you guys like the video. Trying to do something a little different here with some software. Not still very good at it, but I hope it comes out good on your end. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You guys excited about any of these headlines? I'm kind of excited about Batman, not really about the other two. And but let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.